Hello, my patrons. This is an intro to the teaching that you're going to be getting this month, and I realize that I'm in my car. But I wanted to touch base with you because I'm finishing up that video, and I will be posting it here on Patreon for you all. It is very important for you to understand a little bit of the back history with some of the sagas that I'm going to be presenting to you. There are many sagas that are not translated into English, and therefore they need translating first, and they're kind of obscure. And some of the ones I'm going to be touching on are going to be some of that group. You see, there was a lot of recorded history, and there were a lot of similarities between the things that were written down about the sagas and the Eddas and stories in pre-plague Scandinavia. And then there was a revival in the 1800s, a nationalism that went around, and scholars combed the countryside of Norway and parts of Sweden to talk to old grandmothers. Now, I don't know if you remember, but I taught about how the word Edda actually means a grandmother or great-grandmother in Old Norse, which I think is very interesting. But they went and they collected all these old folk tales. Now, at this time, the country of Norway in particular and parts of rural Scandinavia were filled with a lot of illiterate people, because when the plague had happened, it killed off the skalds and the nobles and the scribes, anyone who was more wealthy, who lived in a populated area. But the obscure little rural areas that were so geographically removed from the population, the main populations in Sweden, Denmark, and Norway, those people lived through the plague. And after the plague hit in the 1340s in Norway, it literally left that country a lawless, illiterate, poor peasants. All the nobles were gone. It was kind of like an anarchy state for a while. So when in the 1800s, 500 years later, we have these scholars with this revivalist mentality that they want to go and find out all the old folklore and the old legends and tales, there was a change. Many of them had similarities to the things that were written down originally in the 1200s and earlier, but there were also a lot of changes. And scholars know that that disjunct or that disconnection took place because the plague killed people off, and people had to go by specific memories that they had passed down. So some of these folkloric traditions are some of the things I'm going to share with you, because they're very obscure and you don't hear about them. I will give you references. You can try to see if you can look them up, but I'm pretty sure you're going to have a difficult time reading them, unless there are maybe more translations nowadays, since there is such a revival in Norse history and the sagas and Eddas. So anyway, that's what this month's video is going to be about. If I can't finish posting it tonight, because I will have to put in the sources and that type of stuff, and you know I'm a spaz, then I will have it up tomorrow. But this is for all patron levels. All of you guys will have access to this monthly teaching. So there you have it. And tonight, 6 o'clock, I am going live on TikTok. I took a hiatus. I just needed a break, and I wanted to reevaluate how I was going to present my education to you guys, my teachings to you guys. I kind of wanted to pull back on doing as many readings and instead focus on garnishing more support through Patreon so I could have more time to be able to teach you guys things. And you've all been so patiently waiting. So I am going live tonight. If you want to pop in, 6 o'clock on TikTok, won't be there. Okay, guys. See you later.